This is Larry Beaver coming to you from Canada. I arrived recently thanks to Daylight Disinfectant and it's great. Happy Canada Day, folks. Kitchen will be right there. I don't know, Sashina. Look it up. Don't make me look bad. I just arrived here this week. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Kitchen Court Cases, where we watch court not in my kitchen today. It is Canada Day. Happy Canada Day from Canada. Thank you, Sashina. Um, Larry, okay, I'm late because Larry and I both had to get ready. I'm not even gonna lie. Not a good reason for it other than, hold on. I wanted to be outside. I wanted Larry involved. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm not going to be able to type chat today because I'm only on one screen. Oh, do they want to be YouTube stars? They're going to have to get used to it. Happy Canada Day, everybody. I hope you are great. Who's here? We've got Courtney E. We have, who have we got? Daylight Disinfectant. Bob Dobbs. Thank you for your super chat the other day, Bob. Thank you so much. Sashina. Courtney E. Richard Cranium. A Talking Beaver. William Yount. What the hell is Canada Day? Well, William, I am an immigrant to Canada. So, while I love Scotland, Canada is my country. It's my home. So, I love it very much and Canada Day is our birthday. I don't know quite exactly how we managed to do it 3 days before the US, but that we did. So, I have a really fun question for you guys today and I'm actually needing your help. I want to know what song you hear at a barbecue and must begin to sing or dance. Oh yes, these are permanent. I was drafting my TPO, or not my TPO, my lawsuit about the fuck up on this side. But yes, totally permanent tattoos. So if you heard me, I want to know what song is your favorite to hear on your barbecue outside July 4th, I suppose, for my American friends, your July 4th weekend, what song you love to hear. Um, Sashina, you're so funny. Okay, so I need you to write it in the chat. I want you to write it in the chat. I want you to write the name and the artist because I am going to do a little fun special thing for us. So please think about it. I want to know the one that really gets you going, that you just like will jump out of the pool for, or the one that you know your uncle like will run from across the field or whatever to come and dance to. That's the song I want to see in the chat. I am going to review this chat later so that I can make us a fun playlist. Woo! Okay. What was I gonna, I can't remember. Is it Saturday? It's Saturday. Larry, is it Saturday? It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Um, to be honest, we're not gonna watch any court. I apologize ahead of time. I'm sorry, not sorry? I don't know. We could. The problem is that I'm on one screen and I just don't have like the facing this. I'm on one screen and I don't have um my other mouse or anything like that, so I'd rather just sit and chat. Um Plus I can't stay for long because it is Canada Day and I have to show Larry Beaver a good time on his first Canada Day in Canada. American Pie is your song. Okay, I like that one, Nigel. And you're from Ottawa. Happy Canada Day to you. I like American Pie. I think you mean the older, like the older version, but yes, absolutely. What else do we have in here? Thunderstruck by AC/DC Mayor. That's pretty good. Hotel California, the Eagles. Canada is like living in an apartment above a really great party. It is if the people are if you live in upside down world, daylight, because you know the party is where I am. Come on, Eileen, daylight. That's a good one. Oh, Tom Sawyer by Rush. There we go. Journey says Vicky. Okay, yeah, definitely the original version, says Nigel, of course. Nigel, are there fireworks did you say Ottawa? Yeah, Ottawa. Are there fireworks in Ottawa tonight? Alex G, welcome, sir. Sabotage or any other Beastie Boys song? Any of them? I know Journey is not a band, not a song, William. I'm just reading them. Hi from South Carolina, says BCM. Uh, that's sweet, Sashina. That's sweet. Sending the warm weather to my sister city, Susie Elizabeth, all the way in Australia. Am I correct? Victoria, Australia, where it's wintertime right now? Okay, so Nigel is confirming that there will be fireworks in Ottawa tonight at a number of places by Parliament Hill and also Petrie Island in Orleans. I've never been to Ottawa, but I hear that it's nice. It's fucking 100 degrees here, Courtney says. Now, 100 degrees in Canadian. You guys have to do the translation for me. Sashina, I have a very inappropriate story about a Halloween party that I went to once, but we cannot tell it on this stream. Oh shit, I swore in well, whatever, I don't even care. Yeah, 40 something? Okay, yeah, that's hot. Did you see that register with me? I was like 40? Okay, 40 is very high. 40, okay, 37 is still extremely high. If you can see, it's very windy around. You can't really, but it's very, very windy where I am. It's always windy where I am because I live on an island in the middle of the ocean. It's 10 degrees Celsius there, says Susie. So, Susie, the thing is, I live on an island in the middle of the ocean. And so I understand the like cold ocean weather. It's never very warm here. It's nice. I'll tell you guys a little story. First of all, it's after 4:20. It's Canada Day. Larry's going to sit right over here in front of me. My hair is still drying. I just had a shower. Sashina lives on an island in the middle of an ocean of land. Well, I don't know what that means. But I live in the land of lakes. So, the story I was about to tell was one day, aka a mountain. Okay, Sashina, I get it now. So, as most of you probably know, I've traveled quite a bit. It's hella hot. I hear that, Richard. Okay. So, I've traveled quite a bit. Hi, Crystal. Canada is not just a hippie commune, but particularly where I live is a hippie commune. So, and I bet that, oh gosh, who was it that was just from Ottawa? Nigel. Nigel, I live on Vancouver Island. It's hippie life, right? And we're like barely Canadian because we can, we don't even get snow really, but we make up for it for face tattoos. Hi, Billy. Hi, Donna. How are you? Happy Canada Day. I'm not doing court watching. I am just. Aw, Lisa, really? I will say hi. Give me 1 second. Donna, I am just doing a happy Canada Day hello and a little story time before I go celebrate more. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm on the beautiful deck. Thank you, MB. Like I said, I'm an immigrant to Canada. I was not born in Canada. Oh, here, you know what? I'm just, Larry, for one time, like literally, you are in the way the one time we don't need you to be in the way. It's as if you don't get what we're trying to accomplish here. Um, so the chat will come back up. Nigel has been to Vancouver Island and Victoria, grew up in Toronto, the exact opposite of Vancouver Island. Absolutely, that is true, Nigel. I'm from Victoria. Well, I was just saying I was born in Scotland, but I immigrated to Canada when I was very, very young. And so I appreciate Canada very much. It's my lovely, lovely home. You guys know that. I preach Canada all the time. Now, the story I was going to tell was about living on an island in the Pacific. Hi, Chris! Happy Canada Day! Larry Beaver is here. This is his first Canada Day in Canada, and he is having a great time. I was born in Scotland. I am Scottish, but I am Canadian at heart. Well, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I understand Scottish people. But, Lisa. Right. Okay. Sorry. What was her name? Is it Ellie? Okay. Hi, Ellie Figueroa. My name is Kitchen Court Cases, and I heard that you heard me talking. Well, hello, Ellie Figueroa. I hope you're well. Okay. Um, oh, singing. She heard me singing. I don't want to sing. I honestly, every person that I've told that you guys like my singing is like more concerned that the people are fake. What? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I don't know what currency that is, but thank you, thank you, thank you. I will sing now. I will sing happy birthday to Ellie Figueroa. I doubt it's Ellie's birthday, but we're gonna sing it. Thank you so much, Walkie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought the currency was sex too, and I was like, damn, they added one just for me? Okay. Let's sing just for Ellie. I bet you can hear the wind. High harmony. How much not to sing? William, try me. Just start super chatting and we'll see. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ellie Figueroa. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Oh, Rocky, thank you so, so, so much. You are too kind, and I so appreciate that. Thank you. Happy Canada Day, and happy, 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 happy. I am so thankful. I am working on making a trip down to Florida and hanging out. And honestly, it's South Korean. Did you say it's South Korean? Because I love Korean food. Don't make him sad, Billy. You're gonna make him sad. For anybody just joining us, this is Kitchen Court Cases, but we're not watching court and we're not in a kitchen because it is Canada Day. Hi, Kashat. Hello. This is Swedish. Sweden. Oh, even more cool. I really want to try surstrumming, but I don't know if you're allowed to send that to a PO box or not. Um, Sashina, Oregon sounds great. Lisa Figueroa, thank you so much. You are so sweet. And Ellie, too. So, so sweet. I know I'm outside. It's Canada Day. I'm not even doing, no, I don't, Chris. I know, but I do. I'm a real glutton for punishment. My hair, I know. I just washed it. It's still wet and it's drying. I know, Phil. I know, of course, Billy. I'm joking. Thank you, Raven. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Please make sure to clock in for your shift. This is an extra shift that you get paid triple time for because it's Canada Day. William, oh my God, can you imagine if I was anti-American? Although, well, we're not going to tell that story. I haven't even told the first story that I was going to tell. Um, so, wait, I don't know about Canada Day because I was lucky. I didn't have to do a test or anything to become Canadian because I was a baby. But, um, first of all, I've traveled to America quite a bit. I love America, and most of my viewers are American. Okay. All right, Lisa. What? That's totally fair. Give me 1 second here. I will pull up something. Don't let Ellie see me light this joint. Oh, Chris, if you write it, I'll read it. Raven, if you go back, Larry did the intro. This is Larry's first Canada Day, and it's very important to celebrate your first Canada Day seriously. So, welcome. Today is Canada Day, and Canada Day celebrates the day that marks the country's confederation, which brought together the three provinces into a single dominion within the British Empire in 1867. Now, I do know a little bit. I can ad lib here. Um, Canada became its own country not until quite recently. I believe it was in the 50s when Canada officially became its own country, not part of the British Confederation. And 1955, 56, I can't remember. Honestly, you guys already know I failed school. Um, he is really, 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 really cute. I love Larry Beaver so much. So the thing about Canada, I couldn't pass math either, Sashina, but the lucky thing for me was that I was working at a bank at the time, and so like real life was punching me in the face, being like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And my math teachers are like, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it. You're never going to make it. But that paycheck, like they kept giving me F's and a bank kept giving me money. And I was like, I'm going to go with the bank. Like, I believe that I'm going to make it and that your math probably isn't what exactly you think it is. So that's really, how I feel about schooling. The thing is, my daughter, so I feel a little bit bad because my daughter she's almost 15 and she has been in French immersion since she was in kindergarten. So she speaks French and English. She can read French and English. Okay. Already one up on me, right? Like to me, I'm like accomplished. But, teachers these days, they're so sticky about things. And they hate me because I show up at the beginning of the school year and I'm like, I don't care about your report cards. I know you can write whatever you want on it, so write whatever you want. I don't look at them. Susie, no, because I don't have another screen. I do probably have court, but I don't have it available to watch. I care, but I don't care about the make work, Sashina. That's what I don't care about. So that's a problem for teachers that only rely upon make work in a classroom. So I usually go in and I say something like, I actually really trust you as an educator and your innate knowledge of how a student can grow. And you and I both know that that really doesn't convert very well to letter grades. And so I just want you to know that it's not imperative to me that you sort of grade everything like that. And not only is it not important to me, but because of her IEP, I'm gonna need you to adapt it this way. And then they do. And it's worked for, the last 10 years. And my daughter's never failed anything. Like, I failed so much, and my daughter never fails anything. And it's because I go in there and fucking pave the way. And I have 5 rules for her that are very, very, very serious. She can't. An IEP is an individualized education plan in British Columbia, where I'm from. So IEP means that we got her a psychoeducational assessment, um, which costs quite a bit of money. And the psychoeducational assessment found that she has a processing disorder for her learning. So, um, and it's actually quite a profound processing disorder. So she is, while she's in the 98th percentile for her reading comprehension and sort of verbal reasoning skills and things like that, she's actually in the 3rd percentile for her processing skills. So, it's profoundly different, and requires an adaptation for her from educators. And I've found over the years, going into her classroom with, a few tools at the ready that they can use helps, because teachers are busy and they don't always know what will help a specific student. But with my daughter, the main thing is, like, if she goes to school every day, she doesn't rub it in people's faces that she didn't, she doesn't have to do the exact same work that they do. If she's not disruptive to the class, if she's participating as best as she can, and if she's having fun, those are my requirements for school. You'll notice those don't include homework or tests. So when we go in, I'll be like, okay, so on a regular 20 question test, she'll do 3 of those questions. And they'll get all pissy about it, and I have the paperwork to back it up. So an IEP in Canada is, like, it doesn't get the school any extra funding. And if you as a parent aren't proactive and honestly, like, the squeaky wheel like I am, your kid will still flounder if you don't go in there and make it so. Um, I think, like, I'm not worried about her not learning because of that. Oh no, William, I hear you say a boot, 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 new dude, a boot it. Hi, Brian and Kimmy. Um, so the problem here is that my daughter didn't get assessed until the 3rd grade. I knew she needed an assessment right away, and luckily, again, I was squeaky wheel, so we got it done. But the province where I live doesn't pay for that anymore. And so if you want your child to have an IEP and they're not profoundly handicapped, you're going to need to pay for it yourself. So that's really unfortunate for a lot of people, especially if you are perhaps a younger parent or a low income parent. That's going to be completely out of reach, and maybe even out of the thought of mind, because you might not even think about that. So I was very lucky in that sense. And then also, the report that I have is, you know, basically the foundation towards the adaptations that I can get provided to her. And I go in and assert the most important thing is that I do not want her to hear failure. It's not that I don't think she needs to fail. She can fail an assignment or whatever. But if she goes to class every day and tries her best, you're fucking passing that kid. And you're not going to hold an F over her head and make her stay in on Friday afternoons while you let other kids go out. No. In fact, the school had to stop doing that because of me. I made an absolute fit when I found out that they had these early release days for the kids that had done all their work, and they kept the kids in that hadn't done all their work. I was like, you're absolutely kidding me. Like, that's not going to help any child that is behind on their work. They're never going to catch up in an afternoon. They're only going to be ostracized and feel stupid. So why on earth would that help? Yeah, no, they don't do that anymore. I was like, you're going to need to send home a permission slip, all this shit. That's the other thing. I joined the parental advisory committee and the executive parental advisory committee, because I mean, I was like 24 or 25 years old when my daughter started school, and everyone thought I was the nanny. And I was like, no, bitch, I'm not the nanny. I'm gonna have to get in with the principal or something because this is fucked up. And it's I didn't do well in high school at all. I did great in the independent art and Montessori schools that I went to because they are suited towards somebody like me. Hi, Hector. Yes. Oh, Canada. Happy Canada Day. But the thing with ADHD, which I was diagnosed with at 27, but obviously I've had my whole life, is that I know that I can do things. That doesn't, I'm not afraid to try things. I'm not afraid to find a way forward to accomplish something. However, when people tell you constantly that you shit at stuff, that you failed, that you didn't do it, that you didn't turn in the homework, that you can't do it, that you're not, like, that is what gets kids down. And so if you eliminate that with a kid with ADHD, all you have is somebody who's able to grow and think sort of outside the box. So my daughter, she doesn't hate school. I hated school, but I went. She doesn't even hate school. She likes to go. I'm just like, God damn. I'm not done yet. I mean, she's got to graduate. We had a talk yesterday. I was like, I told you the story about me not graduating high school, right? And she was like, yeah, you did. I was like, so make sure that you pass, like, we'll make sure we're not, because I'm not giving her free passes on like elective classes. She's got to do that shit. I failed sewing many times. No, well, once. I only took it once. I failed that. Um, Thank you, Sylvia. Happy Canada Day to you from Larry Beaver. Oh my God, look at this. We're getting new subs. Susie, ADHD is something that happens as a lifelong disorder for people. How do I fail sewing? Exactly. Because I didn't want to follow a pattern. I literally was like, no, I'm going to take this cloth and wrap it around me and sew it together. And she was like, you can't do that. That's not how you do it. And I was like, well, that's how I'm going to do it. And I'll tell you something. I wore those pajama pants a long time and they were not well made, but I absolutely wore them because I was like, listen, I don't care what you want to call it. This is still sewing. Might not be good sewing, but it's sewing. Hi, insert funny name. Is it Sashina? Sashina, is it your birthday? Do you know they were not selling the stuff? No, Billy Elliot. But do you know what's interesting now is that, oh, I remembered the story I was going to tell at the beginning of the stream. I'm going to tell it in a minute. But, like, I enjoyed high school except for the homework because I never did it. Great intentions, but I never did it. But in class, I was so good at like asking questions, derailing things. You made an apron, Chris. Like, first thing we made was a pin cushion, which I was apparently decent at making. Also, I did not fail machine work, like metal work, but probably should have. Probably should have. So the story I was going to tell is about living on an island in the Pacific Ocean and how that serendipitously got me to one of my many, many jobs. So give me 1 second while I think of how to start this story. Larry, could you sit there for a moment? Also, if you're just getting here, I want you to put in the chat the names of the songs that you love to hear at your July 4th barbecue or your Australia Day barbecue or whatever barbecue, Canada Day, that you love to hear that you just cannot not dance to. I want to hear it in the chat, name and singer, please, so that I can look them up later and make a playlist. So, Canada Day is the day that, what did we say, Chris? The day that the three provinces joined in union from the British Confederation in 1867, which is 155 years ago. It is celebrated on July the 1st in Canada, and it is our country's birthday. So, when I wasn't that young. Get out, British, except I'm British. Like I've said a million times, I'm an immigrant to Canada. I was born in Scotland. I came, and I'm very lovely, happy here. So, insert Canada Day is the day that every Canadian learns to say aboot instead of about. So, as I travel the world, I've traveled the world lots of times, lots of different places, and most of the time on a cruise ship. And I remember I worked at an engineering place. It was a very busy place. I had a really great job. Living in America. I don't think I can sing it because I don't know it. Wheeler Walker Jr., Courtney, I fucking love all of that stuff. Yes, that's going on after this. I actually have a playlist of naughty country songs. Sylvia, I say it just honestly for shits and giggles. But anyway, so I was on a vacation on a cruise ship. I was my busy job that I sort of was learning to hate. And I saw this woman. We were on the Cayman Islands, in the Caymans, and we would just got off the ship, and this woman was standing there with a clipboard. And thank you, insert funny name. She was standing there with a clipboard, and I was looking at her, and I was just like, man, what a life. Like, can you imagine just living on an island, taking people on vacation every day? Like, you would have the best life. And then I was like, hold on. I live on an island in the Pacific Ocean. Could I make this happen? And so I went home, and my husband, I was married at the time. I'm not married now. And I went home, and my husband and I talked about it, and I decided that I was going to go ahead and Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, Kesha, great song. I decided that I was going to go ahead and cut my hours down, get a new job, really try and like relax a little bit, enjoy life, you know? And so I started perusing Craigslist. This is how long ago this was. And I saw this posting for a greeter of cruise ships. And I thought back to the woman on the Cayman Islands and thought, oh, maybe that would be like, I could have like that job. That would be amazing. So I sent off my application, and I get a phone call back. Yes, you've got an interview. Come down and meet me at the breakwater where the cruise ships dock every year. And of course, you guys have a little bit of an idea of how my brain works. And so I immediately Googled the cruise ship schedule, and I realized like, oh, there's 3 different piers. And so I made a calendar for the cruise ship season, and I color coded it, and I like put all these stickers on it, and I was like into it. It was only like a 4-month season. I was like, this is easy. This is like a, 2-hour excursion. So I'm like super excited, and I go down for this interview a couple days later, and I interview with the guy, and he's like, telling me about the job, and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Actually, I wanted to show you something. He's like, what's that? And I like pull out my little binder. He's like, huh? I'm like, well, I've gone ahead. I've just charted all of the ships that are going to arrive, and I color coded it based on the pier, and I've sort of put them in time slots. And he was like, okay, so you're going to be the manager. And I was like, what? And so what originally was going to be a 20-hour a week job turned into an 80-hour a week job that I loved. And I was the exact lady standing on the pier with a clipboard. I actually didn't have a clipboard. I had like a walkie-talkie. I'll find a picture of that. I have a picture of that. Susie, I understand. I can totally understand that. So you've said that you don't celebrate Australia Day because your children are Aboriginal. So for them, it's an invasion day. I totally understand that. I live in Victoria, British Columbia. There is a large Indigenous population around here. I am on the traditional, um, unceded territories of the Lekwungen people. Um, and that's something that I can't forget. As an immigrant to Canada, a first generation immigrant to Canada, that's something I don't forget. I don't look at me coming as much as an invasion. However, I understand that. Um, Anyways, I loved tourists, by the way. I have to tell y'all Americans, sometimes you just believe everything I say. If I say it in my authoritative voice, I, uh, I, you guys believe it. It's funny. Susie, I do understand. I think that it is something that, that's horrible, Courtney. And that's not even unheard of around here. Um, we watch a lot of court, you guys. We watch a lot of child protective court sometimes. And in Canada, the overrepresentation of Indigenous people in the justice system is staggering and a problem that we have to look at. Um, Sometimes I wish I could direct a little bit more of my attention and efforts about court and learning about it towards Canadian court. But unfortunately, it's just not open in the same way. And so I spend my time with US courts. Um, I think that, well, okay, another job that I had was working at the Royal BC Museum, the Royal British Columbia Museum, which is one of the top museums in the world. It is world class and has been for many, many years. Uh, it hasn't changed a lot since I was a kid. And what I found interesting, there is insert funny name. However, the you need to request it for reasons with the journalism. Like it's much more gatekept, I would call it, or like gate kept, I guess. I mean, I've worked for the government of Canada. I know that there is online court, but it's just not accessible to the public in the same way. So, um, I can't remember what I was just talking about. I need media credentials. I think I could probably get media credentials at this point. They do not wear powdered wigs anymore, uh, all the time, Hector. We also have, they actually just recently specifically stopped using some certain language in our court system. It was like a full on thing where they stopped using some gendered terms. Anyways, uh, you won't see a court case streamed in Canada, Chris. I personally trying to remember which non-disclosure agreement I've signed. Um, I'll have to check into that. Let's just say there is online court in Canada. There is daily online court in Canada. It is just not public. Um, Thank you, Susie. Thank you for being here. Be safe in the future. It's a dangerous place out there. Susie lives in Australia, guys. Um, well, in Canada, you're never going to see uh, video of the court. It's not the way it is. We still use sketch, like drawn pictures of courtroom scenes in the media here because there are some pretty strict uh, media gag. What are they called? I'm not in the media, so I don't know, remember. But media bans or whatever that you really have to follow if you want to maintain your, actual credentials. And so they but here's the thing, you can get access to different things. So like just like in the States, in yeah, like a non-dissemination order, exactly, insert federal name. So most court cases, even if they're very high profile, if the media, you know, um applies to the court to have access to it, there's going to be standards. And there's been investigations into, I guess it's a gag order. It is a gag order. So, for example, I'm like, am I covered by that? No, I'm not fucking covered by a gag order. I can say what I want. The unfortunate case of Amanda Todd, which I'm sure many of you know, where, uh, honestly, I don't even want to talk about it. It's very upsetting. However, well, they can sashina, but only when I give them permission. But anyways, that case was very sad because there was a child who unalived herself due to an online bully who blackmailed her. And he was extradited from Europe. I can't remember which country it was. It was was it? I don't want to say a country unless I know the right one. So anyways, he bullied her to death, absolutely unequivocally. And she made a video right before she unalived herself, which is iconic. I'm sure many of you have seen it. It was on YouTube. She was holding up cards that said her story and she was talking about it. And this is something I've talked about before. Um, if you have children or if you have people in your life that you are trying to tell about internet safety, please don't tell them not to send naked pictures of themselves to other people because that's not really good advice. That's just not going to work. So instead, what you need to tell them is that one day somebody might come to you and try and make you think that you've done something terrible in your life and that nobody will love you. And I need you to know that that is never going to be true, no matter what it is. And that people on the internet will try and make you believe that. But you need to remember that I will fuck them up. Like that's the relationship that you need to deal with your children. Because there are weirdos out there, but there are also vulnerable children, all that kind of stuff. So, really that like, and I tell that to all my daughter's friends too. Like someday, one day, somebody's going to say, no, they told you they don't care. They do care. They're going to hate you. They're never going to love you again. I'm going to send it to everybody on your Facebook. I'm going to tell everybody at your school. They're all going to think you're a whore, this, that, the other. It doesn't matter. Like, and you have to be explicit about that before an issue happens. They need to be able to remember that conversation and be like, oh, this is what my mom was talking about. Like that is, that to me is preventative parenting. Telling them not to send a nude picture, they're not going to come to you when they've done that. It's not going to help. So, of course, you don't want them to send nude pictures, but they're gonna. So you need to get over that hurdle and get onto the next, reality check. And I've told my daughter that. I'm like, honestly, when somebody tries that, you bring it to me and watch me ruin them. Watch it. Because as a youth, I was on the internet and people groomed me or tried to groom me. They weren't grooming me. They were probably making me a little bit deviant, but they weren't grooming me. I was well aware of what was happening. But more naive people or more vulnerable people wouldn't be aware. And so again, you really need to be quite overt, but you can't condemn the activity because then they'll never come to you and talk to you. Um, yeah, that's not cool either, Sashina. I mean, that to me, like, I would say you need to be way better. Like, if you're gonna do this kind of shit, why wouldn't you make your own account? Why wouldn't you, like, you gotta be better. Be better. Like, when I say to my daughter, I'm like, if she lies to me and I start, like, and I can suss it out really, and I can suss out almost all the lies, but if she's trying and then I, like, just give her that look and she starts smiling and I can tell, I'm like, really? That's all you got? You gotta try way harder than that to lie to me, baby. Hector, thanks so much for being here. I probably won't be here too long. If anybody ever wonders, does KCC dread coming live, talking? Does she need court? No, I've just been talking for 46 minutes. Feels like a snap. Um, it's good to be the aunt with that energy. You don't have to be the parent with that energy. You can be the friend, the family member, the whatever, and not in a creepy way, just in a, like, the same way you can help prevent your friends and older parents or family from getting scammed in a way. And Sashina, I know your dad was scammed recently and it's horrible, right? But again, that's the type of thing where he has dementia, which I'm very sorry about and I know about, unfortunately. But um, with people that don't have lesser faculties, they're just older and really unconfident with their tech skills. Those are the people that you really need to be careful of. I have a friend in her 30s who sent gift cards to somebody. And at first I was like, you what? Like, I wanted to just scream at her. Like, what the fuck could possess you? But that's not going to help or make her call me next time when she has a problem. So instead I said, okay, next time that happens, talk to me and we'll deal with it and we'll go from there. Don't ever send anybody gift cards. Um, I'm going to tell a funny story before I leave. I told this story the other night on People in Court, but I found out that she made the either members only or not available now. The gift card scam from my friend, she just fell hook, line, and sinker for the gift card scam. Hook, line, and sinker. And I was like, are you, are you okay? Like, it really, I mean, I love her to death, but she also one time asked me what website I use for all my research. And I was like, website? And she's like, yeah, you always have just like, everything. You're able to figure out everything. And she thought like that there was one really good website that I knew. And I was like, no, I have to go to like 40 different websites and use my deductive reasoning and my like logic to make sure that I'm getting correct information. And I read all the comments and I'm, you know, gift card scam. They put a pop-up on her MacBook and told her that I don't even know if they did the refund or if they just took over her computer and said, you need to send us gift cards and we'll unlock it for you. One of the two. It was many years ago. The gift card scams have sort of expanded a little bit. They tend to be more refund scams. So they will try and deceive elderly people and pretend like they gave you too much money and then you have to give them back money. Again, sometimes I think to myself, how does somebody be smart enough to get $20,000 but dumb enough to give it away? If I get my hand on $20,000, you think motherfucker gonna get a gift card out of me from that? Get me to drive down to the goddamn Walmart and pick up gift cards for him? Like, no. I'll go buy a fucking new computer. Like again, but again, you have to think about it. I can't be, it's not helpful to be mean. I don't research on TikTok. I do a little research on TikTok. I do research all over the internet. The way that I do research is by like a lot of reading. I read a lot and I cross reference. And she always thinks it's funny. She's like, you go to YouTube videos, you never watch them right away. I'm like, no, of course not. I read the comments first. I'm not going to waste my time watching a video because the comments immediately will tell me if it's clickbait or if whatever, or they'll direct me exactly to the timestamp of what I need. Like if I'm, if I'm searching for like how to do something, she's always like, press play and watch the video. I'm like, no, why would I? No, I don't want to do that. I don't need to listen to him talk the whole time. I need to know if he's going to actually tell me what I need to know. And the people in the comments will have already figured this out for me. Same with like Reddit threads, very, very helpful. You have to obviously be very nuanced with them and take them with a grain of salt, but catfished, I know, Jacqueline. And so the thing about catfished is, and I've said this before, right? If somebody is sending thousands upon thousands of dollars or $250,000 or more and more and more, what would you do for $250,000 tax free in a year? Yeah, I've been on Web Sleuths before. Um, but imagine, right? Like, no, but I mean, as a scammer, as an employee, right? So if you're an employee or if you're a scammer and somebody is sending you money up to $250,000 a year tax free, yeah, you're going to put in time. That person is going to get texts from you. You're going to make them feel beautiful, loved, wanted, needed, valued. And that's what catfish scams do. They aren't about stupid people. They're about lonely people. And they get lonely people and then they give them attention. And then that's it. That's really it. So the best thing you can actually do to prevent people from being catfished is to introduce them to real life people that are possible mates. That's my theory. But like friendship is great and online friendship is fine. And the thing is like catfishing is devious in a way that I don't approve of because it's not um upfront. It would be very different if they were just like able to package it in a way that the person felt good about giving the money and the person felt good about receiving the money and giving the service they gave. But that's not how it's set up. Um, the friendship here is unconditional, Sashina. And actually, I found online communities to be very, very welcoming and great over the years. Um, they're great. I've been following many YouTube channels for a long time. I've been um, following lots of courts for a long time. I I've told this story before, but the very first trial I ever fully watched from start to finish, every part of it was the Casey Anthony trial, and they broadcasted that on a news channel in Florida, but on their website, and they had a live chat, and um, I loved it. I mean, you could barely read it. There was like 30,000 people in that chat. But still, for some reason, even in a very busy chat, you don't get the same feeling as you do in a more intimate chat or a smaller chat. But even in a big chat, when you put your idea out there and then even one person sort of goes like, yeah, yeah, that's right. You, it feels nice. So I remember I watched like 6 or 8 weeks of that trial straight. Sometimes I would like go to work and then come home and binge like 6 or 8 hours of court. And the verdict of that trial actually shook me. I was not okay. I It was not good. It was not good for me. I was like, because I had watched the entire trial. And I was, so in 2008, that's when the little girl went missing, and my daughter was born in December, about 2 weeks before they found her body. And I remember just, I mean, obviously, I guess the new mother emotions combined with like the anger I had about the whole thing, and then just like all of it together, I just, you know, and Nancy Grace, there was lot of Nancy Grace on. And yeah, and I just was so positive, absolutely positive that oh yeah, that's not good, R. Fulmer. Don't give your passwords to people, even if they say they love you. That is not a good thing. It was all I heard, Sylvia, and it was, but I wanted to, like, I was involved. I made it my business. So much so it was all I talked about. Everybody at work knew that. My husband knew that, anything. And so verdict came, I remember we were on jury watch, and then the verdict came in and people were like, it's verdict time. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I'm watching. I was like, and then, oh, sometimes I still go back and watch the clerk read it out, because you can see her read ahead and like realize what happens, and then like read it out loud as if she tried not to sort of know. But I remember being like, because the thing is, I was working at the car dealership at the time. People tease you at the car dealership. They think it's a joke. They know I've been watching this for the last whatever ever many months. And then she's not guilty. And they're all like, haha, not guilty. And I'm like, that's not fucking funny. No, she is guilty. Like, are you joking me? Like, it was actually, I did make a pledge at that time not to go back to Florida ever again in my life, that I think I'm going to have to go back on. Ugh. That's crazy, Sashina. I've had a few stalkers, but not any murderers that I know of. Florida enters the chat. Listen, I was just so disappointed. There was nothing else I could, like, I'm trying, Courtney. I'm really trying to come to the meetup. I checked out flights, and Donna has said I can stay at her house, and I'm going to take her up on it. So I'm really, really working on it. I got to keep making videos in order to do that. But yes, that's my goal, to come to Florida, to go back on my Casey Anthony vow of never visiting Florida. Oh, I still hate her. I really do. What I really want to rewatch that trial. I've been meaning to look into the logistics of that for us together for a long sort of evening thing, because I miss our long nights. But I don't want the condensed version. I want the one that I watched originally, where we heard all of the objections, and like when they removed the jury and they fought about shit. I want that. I don't want to cut, like, that's the interesting stuff. And now as an avid court watcher, I'm like, damn, that was insane kind of court behavior that we saw from Jose Baez. Like, Hail Marys left, right, and center. Hi, Charles. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Happy Canada Day. Yes, insert funny name. It is the Credence and Mikey meetup. Although, isn't it just Mikey confirmed, Courtney? Um, I would be making it a bit of a longer trip, and maybe making some East Coast time, because luckily for me, I can work from wherever. So, um, I don't like online dating either, R. Fulmer. When I did try an online date for a little while, I like created a notepad where I kept all of my like texts that I would send to guys until I was like interested, because I wasn't going to type that shit out every time. So I'd be like, okay, here we go. There's a sext folder as well, which I saved all the sexts, because I have like some standard sex to go through. Also, Sashina, you've reminded me of a story that I will end on here, which is sort of going to make me out to be a little bit of a slut. Okay, so right after I got divorced, yeah, standard sex, insert funny name. I probably still have those. I'm pretty good at that. Anyways, and here's the thing. If you were getting original custom pieces from me, that meant something, right? Like they didn't know it, but I knew it. I was like, oh yeah, he deserves something original for that. Or, okay, fine. Yeah, your dick pic, great. Here you go. But anyway, so back when I definitely can share that one day, insert funny name. Back when I was first divorced, I had met a few different guys in a few different ways. I did go on Tinder for like 17 minutes. And um it was just like like overwhelming or whatever. And so um I did meet like a few guys on there. And then I also was introduced to this guy that I hooked up with on New Year's at a friend's party. So all of these guys were named Mike. Okay. So the guy I hooked up with on New Year's, plus there was like a few guys that I had been talking to on Tinder or whatever that were also named Mike. And I do like hockey, Charles. So um one night I was doing my thing, sitting around, and I had gone on a date with the Mike from Tinder, but I didn't like him. It was a no-go for me. I didn't even give him a complimentary blowjob. I was just like, no, this is going to be a no. And so we but he was in my phone still because we had been texting, right? Like I don't delete people on my phone. Oh, I didn't text the wrong Mike. Not quite. Actually, that reminds me of a second funny story that I will end on. So, um, well, here's the thing. I do give a complimentary blowjob. If we go on a date and you buy me dinner, yeah, I generally give a complimentary blowjob. That's like my sort of rule. But he did not get one. Anyways, so hi Joey, by the way. They were all Mike. They did not have many qualities in common except for their name. And Sylvia, that reminds me of a song that we will finish with. But um I don't know what I was doing. I may have been whatever, drinking. It was in a very short period of time when I was like still like I'm going to drink beer or not beer. I'm going to drink like hard lemonade. So, oh, Courtney, I've had a Todd Street too. But anyway, so I might have had one drink or something, but buzz, buzz, buzz goes my phone. And I look and I'm like, ugh, it's Mike. And he's like, hey, what's up? You want to get together tonight? And I'm like, thinking to myself, like, this guy just fucking doesn't get it. Like, no complimentary blowjob. I was very clear with him, like, this is not happening. And I was pretty fucking rude when I wrote back. I was like, absolutely not. I thought I told you this is never going to happen again. Like, sorry, dude. No. And send, good night, smoke some weed, have my night, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, scroll my phone as I do, look at the Mike text thread and go, wait, is that the other Mike? Oh my God, it was the other Mike. Oh my God, it was the other Mike that I wanted to text me. Oh my God. Ah, what am I gonna do? Oh my God, wrong mic. Wrong mic. I mean, how do I explain that to Mike? I mean, I don't need to explain it to other Mike. Other Mike's not even involved. This is all good Mike. So, I think the night I was a little tipsy. I must have been a little tipsy. Anyways, so I texted him right away and I was just like, hey, I just said it right out. I was like, hey, I thought this was somebody else. And I texted, I was not meaning to send that to you. I definitely would like to hook up still. You want to hang out? And he was like, yeah, I guess we could hang out tonight. And so I ended up seeing him that night, which was great. And right after I got off the phone with him, looking at my phone, I immediately went into his contact and I began a new practice that to this day still lives on. And that is the assigning of an emoji for everybody. So no matter what your name is in my phone, you will have an emoji ahead of it that will identify you for my purposes. The other Mike absolutely wanted the complimentary blowjob. He never got them. The other Mike did get a blowjob. That guy, I will tell you something. Here's one thing. You don't want to wait me out for something because I'm persistent. That New Year's, I don't think we went to bed till 5 a.m. I was like, finally, are you gonna fuck? Because it's like 5 a.m. and I've been up all night waiting. So, and we did. But, no, you thought I was gonna invite the wrong one over, Billy. That would be bad. That would be bad. So that reminds me of, well, it reminded me of two stories. There was the Mike. Now we have emojis in the phone. And then, oh, and I apologize to Ellie Figueroa for the inappropriateness of this. Uh, what is that? There was something else in between. There was something in between. Oh, I know what I'm gonna find. I will do a little singing, and it is not going to be good. So please don't expect it to be good. But I think you guys might like the words. Oh, I remember the other story. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. This is so funny. Okay. So, after the mic incident, I was hyper careful with my phone. Do you know what I mean? Aw, Joey, I'm glad that I can be spicy. It's Canada Day, so you know. Um, I need, I get descriptions are Fulmer, but I need like instant knowledge. Like the first emoji, I mean, there are so many emojis and the language is private, you know? An emoji means what it means to you, and nobody else knows what that means. And so you can really like m- make some make a statement with the emojis that you use for somebody's name. Let's put it that way. Oh, that's crazy, Billy Elliot. That is funny, funny, funny. Okay. So after I went through my little phase of Tinder and I had gotten into a relationship with a nice guy, um, who we were friends for a while first, and we would talk about our love escapades. And he said to me one time, I went over to visit him, and he was like, I had a bad experience this morning. And I was like, what happened? And he said, I accidentally sent my sister a dick pic. And I was like, you what? How do you accidentally send your sister a dick pic?" And at the time, he was seeing a girl named Amy, and his sister's name is Angela. And, the slip of the finger. And off to Angela goes the "good morning, I'm up, are you" text with a dick pic. And he realized, and so he did something smart, which I think we can all learn from. He began to text one word at a time. "Do not open the previous message or scroll up, or you will see my dick." And so he bumped it off the screen. We don't know if she looked. I hope not. Probably all you can do. Really? Right? Like, what else could you do at that point? And then it's that person's fault. I mean, you've done all you can at that point. I remember saying to him as we were sitting there, I'm going, "You texted her this morning that?" And he looked at me because he was obviously trying to get with me. But that story is just too funny not to tell. And so he was in a bit of a conundrum because he was sort of playing this character of, "Oh, I have no luck with women," but he's sending a "you up, I am" sort of text, right? This is Larry Beaver. Larry Beaver. Larry Beaver to the front, please. Larry Beaver to the front. So, oh, he doesn't watch my channel, but it's fine. He's never embarrassed about anything. He would come and show y'all his dick if I wanted. Um, if you don't like my singing, right now is a great time to click away, because I am going to sing before I leave for the day. This is a folk song that I love and that really, I think, embodies a lot of the discussion that we've had today. Larry, I wish you could sing with me, but I have not learned how to be a ventriloquist yet. Hi, Michelle. Happy Canada Day. I don't think that she's Canadian, the singer, but I don't know Debbie Gibson. But here's the song. Okay. I have to remember the tune. I'm about to sing this a cappella. No, William, it will not, because there is a international armistice on Canada Day to July 4th, like this whole weekend. There's a total armistice, so it doesn't count. An embargo. I think an armistice is the right one. I am not going to fireworks, no. I might be able to see some from around here. Ceasefire. Yes, Sashina, that's probably it too. A ceasefire, my friends. Okay. To look at me, you may not think that I'm a femme fatale, but I've got more boyfriends than I can count. You know I don't mean pals. Well, see, I can't fucking sing this without the tune. Well, there's Andrew, Barney, Charlie, Dan, and Ed, to note a few. I used to get their names mixed up, but now here's what I do. I call them sweetheart, baby love, angel face, turtle dove, honey pie, sugar lamb, huggy bear, lover man, to avoid any possible embarrassment or blame. I never call my sweetheart by his name. My girlfriend Marsha's quite a dish. She meets boys by the dozens. She knows all the New York Jets, their brothers and their cousins, and each one thinks that he's the one that she is crazy about, 'cause at the crucial moment she's been known to holler out, Ooh, sweetheart, baby love, angel face, turtle dove, honey pie, sugar lips, macho man, motor hips. To avoid any possible embarrassment or blame, she never calls her sweetheart by his name. Some people think this is dishonest. Oh, no, 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 no. Some people think this isn't right. But have you ever said, I love you, Thomas, when Thomas was the boy you were in love with last night? Next time your sweetie calls you dear, maybe you should wonder, are they just trying to avoid a social blunder? I'm not trying to make trouble. Monogamy is grand. But if it's not your style, better follow my plan and call him sweetheart, baby love, angel face, turtle dove, honey pie, sugar lamb, lover boy, superman. Avoid any possible embarrassment or blame. Don't ever call your sweetheart by his name. Don't ever call your sweetheart. No, never call your sweetheart. Don't ever call your sweetheart by his name. That was my horrible singing, Shane. It's Canada Day. I've had a few. I've had one drink, actually. And I got face tattoos and sang. Seriously, though, I love the words of that song. I can't sing it very well, but I love the song. And the song and the words are true. Guys, it is. I dress like the 40s, William? Maybe. I do like the past. I have an affinity for the past. I am, I mean, I literally only know how to do one makeup style. So maybe that adds to it. My neighbors on the deck behind me are like, oh, this lady. Oh man, there's neighbors everywhere. Whatever. Um, Normally I have background singers because I have my freaking audio, like my whatever on. Betty Crocker, here's the thing. I love to look super feminine now. When I was growing up and in high school, I never, ever, ever wore dresses. I thought I couldn't for some reason. I really never had the courage to do it. And then when I finally learned that I was pretty and that actually confidence is much more important than how pretty you are, and that you can wear whatever you want and it really doesn't matter. I started wearing what I wanted to wear because I felt nice in it, then, you know, rather than worrying about if I was like in style or whatever. Like, I just don't care anymore. And I'm not very good at styling. That's just the way it is. Um, Jacqueline, are you saying that because of remember my story about the gentleman who was wearing a tent in the hospital? um, I actually learned makeup, Sashina, and it really um, helped me. When I was younger, I would wear makeup and I was not, I was, my family was just like, they would sort of make fun of me, honestly. They'd be like, oh my God, look at you, or whatever. And I just never grew confident until later. And, you know, even now, I really don't have a lot of confidence in my makeup. Like that makeup video I made for the members only, where I have like 6 things. That's literally, oh, you guys, there's a live chase right now. Okay, this is perfect timing. Go right now to Credence and Mikey. They've got a chase. There's a live chase in LA. We got a chase. Go there right now. I love you all. It's Canada Day. I will go there too. We're going to say goodbye. Could it be better? Tell them I sent you. Make sure to tell Mikey that I sent you there, okay? Joey, I want you to become a member so you can check out my video. I have a horrible makeup skills, but I want to learn more. So I love you guys all. Oh, here, can somebody drop a link? Mayor, could you please drop a link? Or Michelle or somebody. I realize I'm like, I don't even have a mouse. If somebody could drop a link over to We Gotta Chase or Credence and Mikey, please. Uh, my absolute babies. And remember, guys, it's Canada Day. Be happy. I love you all. Larry is like having the blast, having a blast, having a blast. Um, yeah. Larry, we're gonna go watch a chase now. Okay, guys, go watch the chase. Courtney, will you drop the link? I think anybody can drop a link. Don't tell everybody, but anybody can drop a link in my chat. Also here, drop the face. Look, I'll show you guys how beautiful it is around here. You fried, you can't. Okay, I'm sorry. It's okay. I think everybody's figured it out. Okay. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later, okay? It's all about the boats, no trouble. Go and watch that chase. Watch that chase. Go, baby. Okay, bye, guys.